Hello, welcome to the final week of Sociology 185. Congratulations, we're almost there. It's been a long 10 weeks, but I'm glad we're getting there and crossing the finish line together. So, this video, I'm going to talk about four major deadlines for this upcoming week. So, please bear with me. It's going to be a relatively long video compared to the previous videos we had. So, the first deadline I'm going to talk about is related to project number two. So project number two counts for 50% of your final grade. So it's a really big chunk of it. And so by Monday, you will have submitted the final version of this project. So what is actually due on Monday? Well, the submission is going to have four key parts to it. The first key part is having frequency tables and graphs on three policy issues. Second, we want to see another set of frequency tables and graphs with the cross tabulations of these policy issues using demographic variables that you have selected. The third element of it is important, so please don't forget it, is we expect you to incorporate additional quantitative evidence, that is survey data, from a recent poll to support your political stance in your campaign. The last element of project number two is we expect you to have a maximum of 2 single-space pages with text of your campaign memo. So here we expect a concrete and concise document that supports your political stance using the main evidence from your analysis. So you can organize these 4 elements as you see fit, but just 2 important things to keep in mind, right? 2 important tips. First is make sure to have the cross tabulations, the tallies, and the graphs, right? So you will only get full credit if you have the graphs and the cross tabulations. Second, I would recommend putting the text in front in the beginning of your project and having the graphs at the end. So you can kind of use the text to set up your argument, and then from there, you have the graphs at the end. That way, I think it makes the flow easier to read and easier to understand. So those are just two of my main tips going forward for project number two. So the second deadline is related to quiz number 2, which counts for 20% of your final grade. So by this upcoming Friday, you will be taking this quiz. This link will be available that day only. So once you log in, very similar to quiz number 1, once you log in, you will have 30 minutes to complete it. It will have 20 multiple choice questions drawn from a large question bank. The question comes up, how are you going to prepare for this quiz? Keep in mind that it's not cumulative. So everything that we've learned from week 5 onwards to now, that's fair game. But anything before week 5, that's not going to be on the quiz. So please keep that in mind when you're reviewing for the quiz that's upcoming. Second, to keep in mind is you will have a study guide that's online already. It's the same study guide that you use for quiz number 1, and it's in the Documents tab of the course website. I'd recommend being familiar with the main points of the lecture. The quiz, about 70% of the quiz material will come from the readings and the points indicated on the study guide. So again, 70% of the material on the quiz is from the readings and points indicated on the study guide. The rest of the quiz will come from material in class lecture. So about 30% will come from material from class lecture. The third deadline coming up is the weekly posts. So you guys are familiar with it. The first post on Friday, and then the responses by Sunday at midnight, right? So by now, hopefully you guys should know where to post and kind of the procedures for that. The fourth and final deadline, I told you this is going to be a long video, is related to the evaluation of the course. So please fill out this anonymous evaluation for both professor and I. And if the response rate is above 90%, by Sunday, every student will receive 1 bonus point. So that's it. I really enjoyed being your TA for this class. I wish you luck with your projects and final. Have a nice week and happy holidays. I'll talk to you soon.